Hi, I'm Jiggie Alejandrino, and I'm here to share with you some of my tricks and tips on how to use flash photography or how to use strobes in your photography. Today I will be using the Phottix Mitros. Well, actually this is the Phottix Mitros Plus that has a built-in receiver. For this one, the Phottix Odin. The reason why I like using this unit or this particular flash is that I can control this one remotely using this one from the back of my camera, which saves me a lot of time and effort, as you would see in this post video that I'm actually going to take you through now. So here's our first scene. I had my couple sit down here on this bench because I wanted to take in this part here and this part here, and I wanted to shoot up. Now, when I would analyze a scene, the first thing I would do is I would want to see how ambient light is affecting everything. Now, I knew that this one, this particular light, 1, 2, 3, and all these lights here, would make a nice background light, plus this spotlight here gives nice rim light. So the first thing that I did was I had to put my main light, my main source of illumination, which was a Phottix Mitros here, which I set on group A, and then I shot it through a diffusion panel to give it a softer light, and that became my main source of illumination. Upon trying it, the problem was this light here in the back was not strong enough to give me the highlight that I needed. So I had an assistant go in here again and put in another Mitros Plus, this time set on group B, to give me that kicker light. So this is how the scene was. Oh, before anything, I have to apologize for the video quality. It is a bit dark. Now the reason why I did this is because I wanted you to feel the actual scene. This is how it looked like to the naked eye. Of course, sometimes, especially with the new cameras that we would be using, like the old Sony A7S, which basically turns night into day, I wanted the viewers to see, I wanted you guys to see that this is how it looked, so that when you see the images after, it would give you a bigger appreciation of how we lit it. So here, you notice the diffusion panel is here, the flash is here. Oh, and both these flash units were gelled a CTO orange, I think half CTO, to mimic the color of this light, so that when I set my white balance, all the light temperatures are the same. The light temperature is the same. So here, so if you notice how I shot it, this was the output. I'll pause this first. So you can see rim light coming from flash in the back, giving that spill light here too. Very nice spill light. Light coming from here came from the diffusion panel with a flash in the back. And then this one is ambient light. Okay, so that was the first scene. That's basically a teaser of what else I'm going to be teaching you, or what else I'll be sharing with you today. Now, from this particular scene, we decided to walk towards a bridge, which we thought we were just going to shoot the bridge, not knowing that there was a beautiful sunset. Well, actually, we knew that the sun had set, but we didn't know that the colors came out. I'm not a landscape photographer, so I wasn't able to predict. We were actually shooting the sunset prior to all these scenes, but we thought that that was it. But then, of course, sometimes in photography you get a bit lucky, and we hit this scene and these colors came out. So immediately I asked a couple to go here in the middle of the bridge. I already knew that I wanted my main source of illumination to come from here, the lamp. And I wanted to balance the light coming from here and the prevailing ambient light so that the colors would pop. Normally, for this to happen, we would have to expose for the background, which would underexpose most of the scene. That's where our flash would come in to be able to create all the necessary artificial light that we need. So, as you can see in this video, I'll be doing some test shots, and there, see, stop. I'll show you. With this trigger, I'm sorry, you can control the power of the flash. At that time, I think that was on group A or group B, and I would use this particular trigger and make it stronger or weaker depending on how it would come out in my camera. So that's me doing it there now. See there? Then I would do a few test shots. If you notice, wait, let's bring it back. Here. Oh, sorry. There we go. See how my exposure was already set for the prevailing ambient light because my exposure was set on the sunset. Everything else was dark. Now, I had my assistant here. See this? I had my assistant here with this Phottix Mitros on a light stand, and I had him put the light stand here on the lamppost on an angle that wouldn't be seen in camera. The light was set somewhere here. So if you notice, every time the flash would pop, it would come from this general area and create a nice shadow after the couple, if you notice there. See? Straight from cam. There. You see it there. That's a shadow, light coming from here, illuminating the backside, giving a nice highlight. At the same time, still maintaining the proper exposure for the background. But when I saw this in my LCD, I knew that there was still some light missing in front. So I needed to open up the shadows a little bit in front. And I had another assistant here, right here, there we go. Put in another Mitros flash. But this time what I did was I set the zoom, which I could do also remotely using the Phottix Odin, to 135, but at a power that is actually very, very low. I just needed it to open up the shadows a bit more. So there, so from here, it was just a matter of proper posing that was fit for this couple. I knew I was going to shoot this video vertically, but I also had to shoot a few shots horizontally. And this was the output. Let's pause this so we can analyze it a little bit more. The light stand was here, which I didn't have to do anything about because it practically blended in the lamppost. My assistant was here. Now the problem was he was wearing a white shirt. I would normally ask them to wear black so that they can blend in the background a bit more. But the only extra shirt he had at that time was white, so I had to Photoshop him out of this one. But this light is the natural light that came from the flash, which here gave that rim light, that very nice rim light here, and a little bit of spill here, which showed their faces. Now, the problem was this part here was too much in shadow. That's why I added that flash here from the left and in front, but weak enough so that it doesn't overpower the flash from the back or the light from the back and just completes it as if everything was shot from this just one source of illumination. Now, I wasn't really done with the scene because the moment that the sun set a little bit more, it became a little bit, the sky became a bit blue, which is what I like. So I immediately went in, as you can see here, and I wanted to do some tight shots and a little bit more intimate shots. So you see this guy here, the flash is blinking. So from here, I made him transfer here just to give a nice rim light as if all the light was coming from here in this general direction. So let's see. So it's just a little bit of tweaking here and there. Okay. Here's the flash. And there we go. And this was a tight shot, I think, there. See? So with this particular shot, I'll pause it again. With this particular shot, this one source of illumination in the back was more than enough to give this natural light here. Okay, on to the next scene. Still in the same area. When I was shooting that previous image, I saw on my left a very nice, it was like something they were building. It was a nice alleyway for boats, something similar to Venice that they were trying to build in the area in which we were shooting. And what I liked with this particular scene was all the ambient light from that shot. So I immediately asked them to go here in this part of the bridge, and we did a few layouts there. So let's see. I had at this time I wanted nice soft light, so I had my diffusion panel there again, and then my trusty voice activated light stand here, and then my Phottix Mitros here. So now it's just a matter of getting the proper angle and the proper pose for this particular scene. This was, well, another reason why, again, I love the Phottix Odin was that this was trying to balance ambient light and artificial light. Well, obviously both are artificial light, but the prevailing continuous light and my flash. I didn't have to go down my ladder every time just to be able to adjust the light here. I could do it from the back of my camera. And I think it saved me a few minutes every single shoot. And here, let's pause the output, see? This one I brought in using the amazing 7S because it could practically see in the dark. And then I added the flash here. This was lit artificially using the Phottix Mitros. Now, the nice thing about using, let's say, a small flash like that is that you could really lower down the power because if I'm not mistaken, I was shooting at ISO 1600 already at this time, just to bring in this ambient light. So I could lower the power weak enough so that it doesn't overpower the background, and I could get this really nice combination of ambient and artificial light. And of course, I had to gel my filter orange again, just so that I could get the same color temperature for both. That's it, basically. I hope you enjoyed this this tutorial. It's not, well, I don't consider it a tutorial. This video that I would like to share with you some tips and tricks of how I would use my Phottix Indra, no, not Phottix Indra, my Phottix Mitros. And I hope if you like this video, maybe you could actually share it, or you could like it and share it, or you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, you could do so in this video, but at the same time, you could find me on Facebook, it's Jiggie Alejandrino, or you could follow me on Instagram, which is also Jiggie Alejandrino, and maybe we could discuss things there that you would want the next topics of the videos to be. Alright, so goodbye for now.